Hello everyone, Dividend Enjoyer here, and today I'm going to talk about why I decided to liquidate my webull account and also liquidate my entire energy transfer position. There are a couple reasons for this, but I've been kind of looking for an excuse to be able to liquidate the webull account because I really don't like having to do my taxes on two different platforms. It's not very enjoyable. I had held these positions for a very long time as well, so I kind of kept this as like a side thing for when I ever really needed capital, and that's kind of just simply what happened is I needed some capital. There's some stuff happening in my life. It's good stuff. No need to worry about it. But I did need to sell my webull account completely. I wanted to also get out of energy transfer specifically because I was pretty up on it. And I really don't like having to file the extra paperwork around tax season. That's really kind of the main reason. I just want everything consolidated into one thing to make it as simple as possible because I do think it matters for one, my own convenience, for two, an audit, and for future costs of filing taxes and things like that. I think it makes more sense to just have it all transparently right there in one spot for if it needs to be audited by whoever needs to look at it. Because I think people can get in trouble by looking shady if they have their stuff in multiple different accounts. I just want all my stuff in one account just for the convenience that brings to my own life as well. So I kind of really just decided that webull account would be the first thing that I would liquidate if I needed cash. And I felt like I just needed it because I wanted to have a good amount of reserve there. And I also felt really comfortable with the amount in the Chase account because now we are over $25,000 in there. So I feel really good about having that amount in terms of an investment just sitting there, still able to appreciate in value while also having a large enough amount of cash to not have to worry about potential items that are going to be needed in the future for me. So yeah, I mean, this isn't really any indication that I think the market is going to nosedive or anything like that. I think that it could go either way in the short term, quite honestly, but I do think that we are probably approaching a bull market. I think especially in tech, we're going to see a surging bull market once we get some kind of catalyst event that goes with it, because we really have people just sitting on the sidelines right now saying, oh, tech shouldn't really be valued at what it's valued right now. Tech should be cheaper because it was cheaper before and because of these risks and because of that risk. But it doesn't matter because the market has decided that tech is currently valued where it's going to be. Whenever there's a dip in tech, the next day it's back up. People are buying it up. And I really think that, we bottomed out not too long ago. I think that now a lot of the opportunities that were there when everything was crashing, when the tariffs were at their heights, when the whole world was falling apart, when nobody wanted to touch stocks, when tech stocks were worthless now, when every tech stock was going to be tariffed at 200%. Oh, a lot of tech stocks are up like 30% in the last month. Oh, man, that's weird. And I've been buying honestly though, my worst investment has been Salesforce in terms of a percentage since I've started the channel. But I really do believe that Salesforce is going to be my best investment over time. I do not plan to sell any of it. I have really just been researching it, and I thought the last quarter was great. I think that Salesforce is going to be a powerhouse of a company. And I would rather honestly own Salesforce than Energy Transfer at the current price. I think that there's in my unprofessional opinion, not financial advice, of course, I think that there's not really as much risk. I think that they're a big conglomerate and you're getting them at a really good price. I think that there's continued growth in their industry, whereas I don't really see that in Energy Transfer. And I really want growth in my companies more right now. And I want to have very high quality. And I think that I was very successful with Energy Transfer. I think that it was an amazing time that I had Energy Transfer as a stock. But overall, I really just wanted to sell out of it because I felt like I had made really good profits. And I really thought that those profits could translate very well into the next chapter of what I'm going to be doing. I also want to say that I am going to be taking a certain percentage of the webull account and putting it into my Chase account. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I'm obviously budgeting everything out with, what's going to end up happening that I need the money for. So I have to budget all of that out. Obviously, I want to pay completely cash there. I never want to borrow money. Not really my thing. Never, never, never borrow money if you can help it. Pay off any loans first before you decide to invest in anything, because that money is guaranteeably going to someone else in interest, and can just completely destroy your gains. But sorry to get sidetracked on that. Essentially, I just needed this money, and the webull account was the easiest account to be able to take it out of. I really appreciate you guys being so patient with me not uploading enough, me not really addressing certain things, kind of being lazy on the YouTube side. I need to really kick it up. I've been having a lot of just personal life things. This is, of course, my hobby. But honestly, I've been getting a lot of support from you guys, from people subscribing to the channel, and I have to say I really appreciate it, and it makes me want to continue to make more content. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that my ramblings made sense to you all. I think that it's just to kind of wrap this video up, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad time in the market. It's just a time that I need the money. And I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I probably should have closed the webull account a year ago and just had my Chase account, just for everything being on one brokerage, because it makes it so much easier. I also probably should have researched my energy transfer more, because if I would have been in an Enbridge where I didn't have to file the K1, maybe I wouldn't have wanted to sell. But I also feel like it's very slow, and I feel like there's a real opportunity with tech here that we really don't have with the other industries. And I think that tech is really, really, really undervalued. I think that tech stocks are going to increase depending on the stock. I think certain individual stocks are overvalued, like obviously Tesla. Apple, I think, is something that I actually want to look at. I think that Apple may be oversold for what it is worth. I think that I may want to establish a position in Apple, actually. And I'd like to see if you guys would be interested in that video, because I think that that could be something that would be extremely interesting to be able to research and decide if, I personally think that Apple is undervalued here, because then I could create some sort of position there, because I do know that there is going to be a certain amount of cash that I'm going to be able to deploy into the Chase account, and I can't decide what I want to put that towards, whether that's going to be Salesforce, whether that's going to be another tech stock. I don't know quite yet, but I am looking at Apple, and I think that Apple has some really good prospects, considering how far it is off of its 52-week high, and just the overall sentiment towards Apple. I mean, I think people are really turning sour towards Apple, and I don't know if it's necessarily, there's two ways of looking at it, right? Either they have downward momentum and it's going to be continually downward for the next 3 years, and there's not going to be good growth. They're going to get punished. They're going to get destroyed. And in which case, you're going to be riding the roller coaster all the way down. And at that point, you shouldn't buy the stock if you think that that's the outlook that you could see happening to Apple, right? But if you look at it the other way, Apple may be able to bounce back and get bigger over time, and then the market cap would be even more. So that's something I want to look at too, is maybe doing a valuation video on Apple. I know it probably sounds crazy, me just rambling off all these different things that I'm looking for or towards to do. But I really want to look at Apple because I think that the stock may be undervalued. I also just wanted to communicate this message, obviously, so that you guys know that this is kind of the move that I'm making, and I kind of wanted to also explain why I was making it, so when the stock portfolio video comes out and then the webull amount is missing, everyone's not like, what happened to the webull account? and the energy transfer position. So I'm going to go over that as well in the actual portfolio analysis video that I do weekly on the channel. But I kind of just wanted to give this rant and talk about kind of why I decided to sell and fill you guys in. So thank you guys for watching. I know that this was a long one. If you're still watching, please comment. Gosh, I love dividends. They are my favorite thing in the world. And please have a great rest of your day. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you made it this far, you might as well hit it and check out my other videos. Thank you. Bye.